Welcome back to the Zak Wylde Productions podcast. I'm Buzz, and he's not Jack, because Jack isn't here at the moment. I'm very sorry to say that. We're missing you, Jack. But the reason why Jack isn't here, as you can probably all gather by now, is the whole of the UK is in lockdown. And that's why we're doing this little one-off lockdown podcast to really bring you up to speed with exactly what's happening here at Zak Wylde Productions. So firstly, as I've already said, Jack isn't here in the studio because he's in isolation with his family, as we all are. But that doesn't mean we're not going to hear from Jack. So hopefully what we're going to be doing at some point in the future is, through the wizardry of modern technology, we're going to link up with Jack so we can do a remote podcast into the studio, and you'll have Jack back here on the podcast. So we've got something there to look forward to. However, in the meantime, the point of this podcast is to bring you all up to speed with exactly what's happening here at ZWP during this lockdown period. Now, we've got a lot of productions that are already underway and other productions which we're ready to get going with. But we've got a little problem because we can't bring in certain voice actors to do the voices for characters during this present time. But there are productions that we can focus on, which is good news. That's great news. So one of those productions is, of course, #Survival, which you've all heard about by now. You've listened to the podcast. Hopefully you've seen some of the social media advertising that's been going out there. One of the first things we wanted to put out there was the live action trailer. But again, that has been affected by this lockdown because we can't go out on location. But I can tell you, before the lockdown occurred, we had been out on location. We have storyboarded it. We're all ready to rock and roll. We've got the cast. We know all the shots that need to be done. That is literally just waiting in the wings. As soon as we get the opportunity, that's what we'll be doing. But in the meantime, we will be doing an audio short that you'll all be able to listen to, which will hopefully wet your whistle for when we start releasing the actual #Survival series. That's in the pipeline. And there's another thing for you all to get excited about with #Survival. I haven't got drums, so I can't do a drum roll. And that is an upcoming competition. That will be released onto YouTube, and it's free. All the details will be revealed within that video. So wait for the video, watch the video, get involved. Now, on our next podcast, we have a guest coming into the studio, and they're going to be talking about the Lost History series, which, if you recall from previous podcasts, is built within the steampunk universe. And we're going to also have a short audio in there you'll be able to listen to, and that's going to introduce you to the character of Jonathan Smythe. So that's something you can really look forward to. That's coming out on the next podcast. Now, as I say, this is basically bringing you up to speed with what's happening at Zak Wylde Productions in this current lockdown. And we're all feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it. Everybody's feeling it. It's a time that I'm sure you'll all agree with me, where we see the best of people and, unfortunately, as you can see in the media, the worst of people as well. But for the best part, it's all been the brilliant people getting together and supporting and getting behind the NHS, all the key workers, police, the carers, fire brigade, down to your delivery men getting the food out to everybody. It is an amazing time. Who would have ever predicted that we would be in a situation like this? I've got all the confidence we're going to get through this and get through it well. We've just got to keep going. So thank you all for your continued support listening to the Zak Wylde Productions podcast. And so what I'm going to do now is I've got a few names to read out to thank you, because you've been making comments on our releases, whether it's been on PodBean, Spotify, or of course YouTube. So starting from the top, I'd like to give a big shout out to Tom Talks Truth, who left a wonderful little message about #Survival on PodBean. He says, I love this idea that he's seriously on the verge of going full prepper any moment. And he says, come on, Zak Wylde Productions, when can you be casting for the role of Tom? Well, thanks for asking. The role of Tom in #Survival has already been cast. Don't worry about that. There may well be other characters coming out in the series. We've had other interactions on Instagram. We've had comments such as, I can't wait to see this, from Sophie Turg, Fish Bonius, James Leaper 13, Gulbinalska, and Sweet and Swifty. So thank you guys for all making comments and interactions on Instagram. And thank you for all the retweets on Twitter from Boston Metaphysical Society, VT Square, Natalie Jeffrey, Daniel French, Fishbonius, Sound Design, Mountain Mysteries Audio Drama, Chronosphere Fiction, Space Cowboy Sci-Fi, The Truth, Ya Boy Retweets Boss, Limelink, Indie for You, Movie Screen Pro, Jeff Honman, Prepperbot, Steve Johnson, Martinez with Lars Teeny, and Milton Copperbottom. Thank you guys and girls. Brilliant. You're all absolutely amazing to be out there supporting ZWP across all the social media formats. It's absolutely brilliant. So thank you everybody that I've mentioned. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody out. If I have, I do apologize. Please still continue to follow us. Get on there, put down comments, ask questions. I like questions. It gives me something that we can feed back on, especially during this time of the lockdown. You got questions about our productions, questions about anything, just bang them over and we'll fit them in our later social media roundups at the end of each of our podcasts. So let's round this up, and I'll just ask you to remember to like, follow and share our Zak Wylde Productions podcasts, which you can find across all the major platforms such as PodBean, Spotify and YouTube. Remember to like, follow and share our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And of course you can follow us by going to the website www.zakwyldeproductions.com. And keep an eye out for the upcoming competition, which will be uploaded to YouTube. So get onto YouTube, find the Zak Wylde Productions YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much everybody out there. Just remember, stay safe, stay in and stay strong. There's just one thing left for me to do, and that is cue the jingle.